If you want to avoid the traps that have caught so many good people by surprise, if you want to protect your future and live with confidence, then you're in exactly the right place. And as always, if you haven't already joined our growing community of people committed to aging smarter and stronger, now is the perfect time. Hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and stay with us, because what you're about to learn could truly change the way you look at intimacy in later life. All right, let's get started. Let's begin with the first and perhaps most dangerous mistake: ignoring early warning signs. For many men, the first clues show up quietly. You go to the bathroom at night and notice the stream isn't as strong as it used to be. Maybe it takes longer to start, or you feel like you didn't quite finish, so you're back up again in an hour. Some men even start planning their daily routines around bathroom breaks, but they laugh it off as just old age. Here's the problem. What seems small or embarrassing is often the body whispering about a deeper issue. Weak urine flow, frequent urgency, or difficulty starting and stopping. These aren't just random inconveniences. They're often the earliest signs of benign prostate enlargement, also called BPH, a condition that affects more than half of men over 60 and up to 90% by the time they reach 85. And while BPH is not the same as cancer, it can still wreak havoc if ignored. An enlarged prostate presses on the urethra, the tube that carries urine. Over time, this can cause bladder infections, kidney strain, and even total urinary blockage, a painful emergency that requires immediate treatment. But beyond the medical facts, let's talk about how this affects intimacy. When the prostate is under strain, sexual performance often suffers too. Discomfort, reduced stamina, even painful ejaculation can creep in. And yet, instead of speaking up, many men hide their symptoms, hoping they'll resolve on their own. I once read about Richard, a 74-year-old who prided himself on being strong and independent. For months he noticed changes: slower stream, discomfort during intimacy, a nagging pressure that wouldn't go away. But he brushed it off. By the time he finally mentioned it at a checkup, his prostate had enlarged enough to require urgent treatment. The good news? With help, Richard recovered and actually enjoyed more confidence than before. But he admitted something heartbreaking. His biggest regret was staying silent for so long. This is why doctors emphasize not waiting. When you ignore small signs, you give small problems the chance to grow into big ones. And in later years, the margin for error is smaller. What you delay today could cost you your health, your relationships, even your independence tomorrow. So how do you avoid this mistake? First, pay attention. Don't brush off changes as just aging. Normal aging does not mean living with discomfort or embarrassment. Second, speak up. Share openly with your healthcare provider. Even symptoms you think are minor could provide critical clues. Third, involve your partner. Hiding discomfort can create distance in a relationship. Honesty builds trust, and working together makes the process easier. Finally, commit to screenings. Regular prostate checks can detect issues long before they become emergencies. The truth is simple. Ignoring warning signs is never wise, especially with something as vital as your prostate. Your future self will thank you for the courage you showed today. So remember this: your body whispers before it screams. Listen to the whispers. The second mistake is one that traps countless seniors: the belief that more is always better. There's a popular myth that's been circulating for years, that the more sexually active you are, the healthier you'll be. And to be fair, there's some truth behind it. Harvard Health has reported studies showing that frequent ejaculation may be linked to a lower risk of prostate cancer. At first glance, that sounds like a green light to push harder, to try to live as if you're still 30 years old. But here's where wisdom must replace myth. What's beneficial in moderation can become harmful in excess. especially as we age. Think about it this way: your body in your 70s or 80s is not the same as your body in your 30s or 40s. The heart, the muscles, the nervous system, they all work a little differently now. Recovery is slower. Energy is distributed differently. And while intimacy remains a beautiful and healthy part of life, pushing beyond your body's natural limits can create problems you never intended. For example, intimacy is a form of physical exertion. It raises the heart rate, increases blood pressure, and engages multiple muscle groups. For someone with undiagnosed heart disease, diabetes, or hypertension, all of which are common in older adults, overexertion can trigger chest pain, shortness of breath, dizziness, or even cardiac events. It's not about fear, it's about awareness. I recall the story of Eleanor, 68, and her husband John, who was 71. They were happily remarried and wanted to make the most of their new life together. But they quietly felt pressure from society, from advertisements, even from memories of their younger years. They believed they had to keep up, to prove they were still just as vibrant as ever. The result? Nights of discomfort, strained energy, and lingering shame when things didn't go smoothly. Eventually, after one particularly exhausting evening, they visited their doctor. What they learned changed everything. They didn't need to chase some artificial standard of normal. Instead, they needed to listen to their own bodies. By slowing down, focusing on connection, and honoring their limits, they not only protected their health, but also discovered a deeper sense of intimacy. One built on trust, laughter, and freedom from unrealistic expectations. And here's the key point. Sex is not a competition. It's not about frequency charts, performance statistics, or what anyone else is doing. It's about connection. Quality is infinitely more valuable than quantity. So how do you avoid this trap? First, listen to your body. If you feel strain, pain, dizziness, or exhaustion, those are signals, not weaknesses. Respect them. Second, focus on comfort, not comparison. Forget the numbers or the myths. Ask yourself and your partner, what feels good for us? Third, pace yourself. Allow time for recovery just as you would with exercise. Rest and balance are part of health. Finally, redefine intimacy. Sometimes the most meaningful moments come not from frequency, but from tenderness, laughter, communication, and emotional closeness. Here's the truth no one tells you. Chasing youth is a losing battle, but embracing wisdom, slowing down, and honoring your changing body, that's how you turn later years into a season of deeper, richer, and more fulfilling intimacy. So remember, it's not about doing more, it's about enjoying better. The sixth mistake is one that many seniors never see coming: ignoring the psychological, emotional, and relational aspects of intimacy. You see, when we talk about intimacy in older age, most people immediately think of physical performance, whether the body works the way it used to. But here's the truth. Intimacy is as much about the mind and the heart as it is about the body. And for countless men, the silent struggle isn't just physical changes. It's the emotional weight that comes with them. Shame, embarrassment, fear of judgment. These are the hidden companions of many older adults. When difficulties arise in the bedroom, whether it's erectile dysfunction, discomfort, or lack of desire, too many men keep quiet. They avoid bringing it up with their doctor, they hide it from their partner, and they suffer in silence. But silence has a cost. It isolates. It creates anxiety. It fuels depression. According to Zero Cancer, a leading prostate health organization, men dealing with prostate problems often experience deep emotional strain, not just physical symptoms. Mayo Clinic also emphasizes that sexual changes tied to aging or prostate health are closely linked to mental well-being. Now think about the relationship side of this. When one partner goes quiet, the other is left guessing. She may think, is it me? Have I done something wrong? Is he not attracted to me anymore? That misunderstanding can cause heartbreak. It can create distance in a marriage that has lasted decades. What began as a small, unspoken health issue slowly becomes an emotional wall. Let me share a story. Paul, a 72-year-old retired teacher, began noticing changes after his prostate surgery. Intimacy wasn't the same, and he felt embarrassed. Instead of talking to his wife, he withdrew. She thought he was losing interest in her, and she began to withdraw too. Soon they were living side by side but worlds apart. No arguments, no fights, just quiet sadness. Finally, in a moment of vulnerability, Paul admitted his struggles. To his surprise, his wife didn't reject him. She cried, not out of anger but out of relief because she finally understood. Together they sought counseling and slowly, they rebuilt intimacy on a new foundation. Honesty, compassion, and patience. The lesson? Hiding pain builds walls. Sharing it builds bridges. So how do you avoid this mistake? First, talk to your doctor. Medical professionals have heard it all before. What feels embarrassing to you is routine to them. One simple conversation can open doors to treatments, therapies, and reassurance you didn't know existed. Second, talk to your partner. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's courage. By being open, you invite them to walk the journey with you, instead of pushing them away. Third, consider professional support. Whether it's counseling, couples therapy, or peer support groups, having a safe space to talk about these challenges can lift a heavy burden. Finally, remember intimacy is broader than performance. True connection comes in many forms. Holding hands, laughing together, sharing stories, enjoying simple closeness. Redefining intimacy beyond the physical allows love to thrive in every season of life. Ignoring the psychological and emotional side of intimacy doesn't just rob you of joy, it robs your partner too. But when you face it together, you don't just preserve intimacy, you strengthen it. So remember this. Your body may age, but your capacity to love, to connect, and to be loved never expires. Don't let silence steal what words can heal. The seventh mistake is one of the most dangerous, skipping follow-up and neglecting proactive prevention. Here's what often happens. A man is diagnosed with something like an enlarged prostate, or maybe even early-stage prostate cancer. He goes through the initial treatment or surgery. He breathes a sigh of relief and thinks, that's it, it's done. But here's the truth. It's not done. Not even close. Prostate health, and overall men's health in later years, requires ongoing management. It's not a one-time fix, it's a lifelong partnership between you, your body, and your medical team. Ignoring follow-ups is like patching a leak in your roof but never checking it again. One day the storm will come, and the damage will be far worse. Frisbee Memorial Hospital points out that continuous monitoring of prostate conditions is critical. Medical News Today adds that even after treatment, changes in lifestyle, diet, and routine screenings are what make the difference between stability and decline. Let me give you an example. Robert, a 69-year-old grandfather, had surgery for an enlarged prostate. For the first year, he felt fine and decided he didn't need to bother going back for his scheduled checkups. He skipped appointments, stopped taking his prescribed medication, and went back to old habits: heavy drinking on weekends, little exercise, and plenty of processed food. By the time he went back to the doctor, he was facing complications that could have been prevented. His sexual health had worsened, his energy was lower, and now his treatment options were limited. Contrast that with Michael, age 73. He too had prostate surgery, but he did something different. He took prevention seriously. He kept every follow-up appointment even when he felt fine. He asked his doctor questions, stayed informed, and made small but consistent changes. Swapping fried foods for vegetables, walking 30 minutes a day, cutting down on alcohol and quitting smoking. Today, not only is his prostate condition under control, but he also has better stamina, stronger intimacy with his wife, and an overall zest for life that his friends envy. So what's the lesson? Health is not a destination, it's a journey. How do you avoid this mistake? Set regular medical appointments and keep them. Don't wait until something feels wrong. Prevention is always easier than repair. Follow through with treatments and prescriptions. If your doctor recommends medication, therapy, or lifestyle changes, see them through. Consistency matters more than intensity. Make lifestyle your medicine. Balanced diet, regular exercise, limiting alcohol, quitting smoking. These are not just general health tips. They are powerful tools that directly impact your prostate health, your sexual vitality, and your longevity. Stay informed. Medicine evolves. New treatments, new insights, and new technologies are always emerging. The more you know, the better choices you can make for yourself. Too many men fall into the trap of thinking, if I'm not in pain, I must be fine. But in reality, silence from your body doesn't always mean health. Many conditions develop quietly, slowly, and by the time symptoms appear, damage has already been done. Proactive prevention is not optional in later years. It's your lifeline. Every checkup, every screening, every small lifestyle change is an investment in more years of strength, intimacy, and independence. So remember this, your future self depends on the choices you make today. Don't rob tomorrow's joy by neglecting today's responsibility. Health isn't just about surviving longer. It's about living fully. And the only way to do that is to stay ahead, not behind. As we close, I want you to pause and take this seriously. Intimacy in later life is not just about pleasure. It's about health. It's about dignity. It's about connection with your partner, your family, and even with yourself. Too many men lose these gifts, not because of fate, but because of neglect, silence, or pride. So here is what you must do if you want to protect your body, your mind, and your relationships well past 65. First, listen to your body. Never brush off symptoms as just getting older. That weak urine stream, that pain, that fatigue, that loss of desire. These may be your body's early alarm bells. Ignoring them doesn't make them go away. It makes them worse. If your car made a strange noise, you'd take it to the mechanic. Why value your vehicle more than the body that carries you through life? Second, talk to your doctor early and be honest. Too many men wait until the problem is advanced before seeking help. Don't let embarrassment or ego silence you. Doctors don't judge, they heal. Your honesty gives them the power to save you years of unnecessary suffering. A 5-minute conversation could mean the difference between a minor adjustment and a life-threatening condition. Third, don't chase false promises. The internet and late-night ads are full of pills, powders, and so-called miracle cures for prostate health, virility, and stamina. Most of them don't work. Some of them are even dangerous. The truth is simple. Safe, effective treatments exist, but they must be used under medical guidance. Don't gamble with your health for the sake of pride. Fourth, maintain overall health. Here's what many men don't realize. Your prostate does not exist in isolation. Your heart, your blood vessels, your metabolism, your hormones, all of these affect your sexual health. A strong heart means better blood flow. Better blood flow means stronger intimacy. A clean diet and regular exercise don't just keep your waistline down. They keep your prostate, your mind, and your relationships alive. Quitting smoking, limiting alcohol, staying active, these are not small steps. They are life-extending choices. Fifth, communicate. Your silence can wound the people you love. When you avoid the conversation, your partner feels distance, confusion, maybe even rejection. But when you open up, when you share what you're feeling, what you're afraid of, what you hope for, you build intimacy that no pill can replace. Communicate with your partner. Communicate with your doctor. The courage to speak is often the beginning of healing. And finally, stay proactive. Prevention is not optional in later years. Your health is not a problem to solve once and forget about. It's a relationship that must be nurtured daily. Regular screenings, steady checkups, consistent treatments. These are not chores. They are the keys that unlock more years of freedom, intimacy, and joy. So I leave you with this challenge. Don't just survive these years, thrive in them. Refuse to let silence, fear, or neglect steal from you what you still have. Your body is wiser than you think. Your doctor is more helpful than you fear. And your partner is more understanding than you realize. If you do nothing else, do this. Listen, act, and stay honest. That's how you protect your health, your relationships, and your future. Because in the end, a long life without intimacy, without dignity, without joy, is not the life you deserve. You deserve wholeness, connection, and vitality. And it begins with the choices you make today. If you found these 7 points eye-opening, I want to hear from you. Do me a favor right now, drop a comment below with #3 or your favorite number. That's more than just a number. It's a signal that you're awake, that you're choosing awareness over silence. And when I see those numbers, I know these words are reaching real men, real couples, real families. But don't stop there. Share this video with someone you care about. A brother, a friend, a husband, even a father or son. Because too many men walk blindly into preventable pain, not because they didn't love their families, but because they didn't know or they stayed silent. Sharing this video could be the turning point that saves someone from regret, from unnecessary suffering, or even from losing years of intimacy and health. Think of it this way, you're not just sharing a video, you're handing someone a key to a better future. And if you're new here, or if you've been watching quietly without subscribing, let me ask you something. What's your health worth to you? What's your dignity, your energy, your relationships worth? Every week I put out content designed to empower seniors. Not with myths, but with truth. Truth backed by doctors, truth tested by real lives, truth that can change yours. If you want that kind of knowledge to keep flowing into your life, hit subscribe right now. Then tap the bell icon so you never miss a single message that could add years of strength, intimacy, and independence to your life. This channel is not just about surviving old age, it's about thriving in it. It's about turning what most people call decline into a season of wisdom, vitality, and deeper connection. And you don't have to walk this journey alone. You have a community here, thousands of men and women who are waking up, taking charge of their health, and choosing life over fear. So take a moment, comment your number, share this video, and subscribe. Those 3 small steps could ripple outward into something far greater than you imagine. Remember, prevention is always better than regret. Let's walk this road of wisdom together.